Hello, Gorringes are on view yet again, this time for our sale on the 8th of August. And you have caught me on a Saturday morning in the warehouse, far better places for most of us to be, I'm sure, in my summer attire. And so we're going to have a wander around the warehouse. You've got legs. Yeah, I've got legs. We're going to wander around the warehouse and see what we can sort of have a look at and get inspired by. Picked up by Mrs. Lansbury, lot 1105. That's nice. This coffer or chest or mule chest. So why could it have these various terminologies? Well, some people call these 6-plank coffers when they don't have a drawer because they're made of 6 planks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gosh, but Dan said no. If it doesn't have panelling, it's not a coffer. It's a chest. So he's usually right about these things. But then if you've got a drawer in the base, it makes it a mule chest. So I don't know. Anyway, it is what it is. What's nice about this? It's made of elm, and it has a rather nice original colour.
It looks very old.
It almost certainly is very old. It should be round about sort of 1700, but this kind of construction drags on over the years in the provinces. We open it up, yeah, the ironwork looks nice and early. Look at the shape of those lovely little hinges, blacksmith made hinges. Have a look inside, there's some of the lovely grain of the elm. Down the end here we have what generally is referred to as a candle box, for keeping your candles in. And then slightly unusual for this is the fact that it has this base drawer, which has been lined in antique
that's
French.
Really nice.
French? Is it French?
No,
it's been lined in antique English paper for somebody with a tobacco license. Retail beer, cider and perry. Sounds great. Yeah, kind of fun that. Nice little original ring handles. Look at those. Looks like the original iron lock. No key. A little bit stiff sliding it backwards and forwards, but there we go. Nice character piece of country furniture. Lot 1105.
Nice.
Elsewhere, what can we show you? Well, a lot of painted furniture.
Actually, that chair was rather nice, wasn't it? With the little footstool.
The chair with the footstool, lot 1108. Yeah. What do you get? Well, the stool shows some rather skillful upholstery with this lovely sort of, I'm not quite sure the word, braiding around the edge, I suppose, and it's in piping. It's in nice clean condition as far as we can see, on a painted underframe with some sort of rubbed wear, probably deliberate. Scroll legs in the French style. With it you get upholstered en suite but not related otherwise, a kind of Edwardian mini armchair. We know it's Edwardian because it's got squared tapered legs with boxwood stringing and ceramic casters, puts it around about 1900, 1910. The cushions artfully upholstered to match the piping on the stool. Lot 1108, bit worn there around the edge. The cat had a go at this over the years, so the upholstery on the chair may need replacement, unless you have a cat, in which case, let's face it, why bother? Because the cat will just do it for you later anyway, at least ours would. Carrying on down, if you bought lovely Mercury on the 11th of July, would you please arrange to come and collect him? We need the space in the warehouse. And while you're collecting him, you might want to look at lot 1129, I'm sure, Victorian cast iron window frame.
It's fabulous.
Window frame. Look at that. So this is hinged here to sort of lift up and open up a little aperture there. And then it's been mirrored. The mirror looks like it sits behind it. Dare I move this forward? No, every single plate is a separate mirror.
Oh, is it? Gosh.
Yeah, it's individually glazed in mirrored glass. Sort of thing people put in gardens.
It would look great in a garden.
It would look great in a garden. It will look great.
It would look great in our garden.
In the right place. So I suspect there's an element of, you think it would look great, and then you've got to work out where you're going to put it. You want it up a bit higher, then you've got to stand it on something. It's not going to mount easily. Don't look at me with that face. It's still a great thing.
It is.
We were talking painted furniture. You remarked upon this.
You said 1129, yes.
Yeah, you remarked upon this because it's in such nice condition. 1128. So what have we got here? We've got painted mahogany and Edwardian era. How do we know that? Well, the way the handles are made, the way it's constructed with
Very
those small little dovetails, the way the interior of the drawer is joined together.
Look, a key.
Comes with a key. It comes with a really early key that does not fit it, but will fit something else. So we'll get our crack team.
It doesn't fit.
Did you note the word I used? Of course it doesn't fit. Well, for one thing, there's oh, I see down the bottom.
Oh my gosh, it's Saturday. It's
Saturday. If it fits this lock, I'll eat my shorts. Of course it doesn't fit the lock.
No.
We'll get our crack team of porters to go through the receipt and see if there's another piece of furniture what would like that key, because that's hard to replace. Anyway, I digress.
So, so the decoration on this, is this an age?
So what is going on here is this is sometimes referred to as Sheraton Revival.
Right.
So Thomas Sheraton in the late 18th century designing painted furniture, elegant lighter pieces in satin wood in particular, but also mahogany, and then often with painted or very fine marquetry decoration. This gets picked up again around about 1900, 1890 to 1910, and similar painted finish is applied. So look at this, these are pearls.
Very pretty.
These lovely swags and urns. We've got trophies here, what we call musical trophies, because they are made up of musical instruments rather than, there's a more military trophy in a way, because we've got a spear and a powder horn and a shotgun or rifle there. So,
And then what?
yeah, and there's smoke emitting from these sensors. I mean, it's great fun, isn't it? A lot of work. Lovely flowers here, flowers down the sides. Totally out of fashion at the moment. So it's a good time to buy it. Inside, you've got a shelf. The lock's coming loose. You've got the wrong key with it, or hopefully you haven't got a key at all with it, because we're fine with the key goes with. But still, nice thing. Shallow, useful in a hallway, etc.
Yeah.
Come back in fashion one day and then we'll all admire it and think, God, I wish I bought that. 1116 is one of the many garden sets we've been getting in, possibly French, 1940s, 50s. It's very lightweight, so it's probably aluminium, but if it's iron, it's a tubular construction. Bench is kind of fun. Table's fun with this radial design, but it has lost its central boss, and the pair of chairs have got almost certainly replacement seats, which is a shame because they need slatting. So I wouldn't expect that to be overly expensive because it needs work or just putting up with and not paying too much for. Some carved bedside cabinets here, French, 1910, in the sort of manner of Majorelle. Why is that in the manner of Majorelle? Because they are slightly Art Nouveau-y in design, but there's sort of sweeping here and these semi-stylized floral motifs with a little parcel gilding here. You've got a marble top. You've got a drawer, you've got the pot cupboard lined in marble.
Gosh, yes.
Why?
Why?
I don't know. Was it to keep it cool and less smelly?
You said pot cupboard.
Yes,
oh,
one puts one's... Well, you've got to put your chamber pot somewhere. You can slide it under the bed, but you might tread in it in the morning or something. So I'm pretty sure that's your pot cupboard for keeping your pot cool.
Right.
Okay, we won't dwell on that then. But there they are. They are lot 1125. If you like those. More, as always, fire pits and more garden chairs and things. But let's try and pick up on something a little bit different to show you, which keeps me dragging backwards down here. I passed quite a nice early oak chest, but it's been through the mill, as we say. So what have you learned over all the weeks about looking at furniture? One of the things was look at the handles, and there we have a hole in the middle showing it had a change of handles. So it may well have started with a single drop handle. There's the ring. Can you see it? There's the ring there.
Talking about a ring.
Yeah, pause 1 second. So yeah, sorry, the brief called man about a van. That's what they say. So yes, single drop handle, later replaced, but we're talking later, 1760 maybe, replaced with this handle. perhaps a little later, but you know, it looks like original water gilding on it. So yeah, a later upgrade, but not sort of massively later. But yeah, quite a nice little chest of drawers other than that. Lot 1024. Carrying on, well, as always, we'd love to sell corner cupboards. Please do come and bid. Yes. No, don't dwell, sadly.
No.
That's not really going to help its chances. Nice little arts and crafts bookcase there, lot 1020. Adjustable shelves, looks like it needs a little bit of work, but interesting model. I like this, here we go. This is, again, not the easiest thing to sell. Lot 1036. Here we have a classic, now I would say 1930s, walnut dining table, extendable dining table with chairs. And it just so happens that it comes with a bill of sale. Look at this, from W. Lamb & Co. Wholesale cabinet manufacturers of Curtain Road, London, EC2. Isn't that great? Sold to Kunis, Mr. Kunis, by the looks of things, of Rodine Crescent, Roehampton Gate, no less. One sideboard, one dining table, 4 chairs, and a carver to match. 28 for the sideboard, the most expensive item, 22 the table, 20 the chairs, 7 the carver, and some other items. And here's the receipt with the stamp duty paid. Date, I saw it here somewhere. 1935. Yes. There we go. They also got a wardrobe, a gent's wardrobe, and a settee, and divans and everything.
They went big, didn't they?
Yeah, they had a good old spend up. And then they bought another carver later on for 7 and 10 in 1938. Gosh. And look, they got the same model, bang on, you know.
Yeah, matches the table and everything.
Nothing changed in 3 years, design-wise. So, and here it is today. It stands them in back in 1935, about £80 all in. And that's probably going to be quite a good price if we can get 80 quid for it now, sadly. It's gone up and down over the years, you know. In the 1980s, that was probably worth 500. And now it's probably worth 100 to 200 on a good day, because we've all decided we don't want that look, and it's a bit dark and gloomy, and it is a bit worn as well, but not a bad table underneath it, and that lovely receipt to go with it. So there's an interesting historical document. I quite like this stool just because of its shape. It's got lovely sort of serpentine underframe there. Victorian, lot 1018. The seat could do with improving, but yeah, pleasing underneath that 1018. Again, not expensive. 1015, how about something Chinese? These are carved hardwood lion dogs, and they come with a book. Look, they come with
a pedigree.
An antique expertise book, Beijing Relics Expertise Center. And what's it say inside? Well, I'm afraid I don't know, because it's all in Chinese, but essentially it's sort of passport to allow them to be exported. And these little wax seals, I think, relate to approval for export, where the Chinese were kind of keeping an eye on what was being exported and didn't want to lose the proper cultural heritage stuff, but were quite happy to let more run-of-the-mill trade items go. So there they are, but they're carved hardwood, they're a good solid wood, and they're lot 1015. A couple of planters, not so many planters this week, which makes a change, I guess. Here's an early thing, and a great project for somebody. Lot 1041. So this is an early 18th century walnut chest on what's left of its stand. So we go and have a good look at it at the oak top, because it didn't stand this tall. It stood about here at one time. And am I boring you?
No.
Some people don't appreciate this. So we've got the original handles. Yippee! I talked about drop handles earlier. There's some original handles. So to somebody, this furniture alone is of furniture, meaning the metal mounts, is of rather good use. Nice early locks, loose bits galore. Great project there to stick all these missing bits back on, and then yeah. So it needs a lot of work. Lost a lot of veneer down here. Would have had a stand. Generally, what happens is the work to restore the whole stand thing is not worth the bother. So this would get turned into just a chest of drawers. They get put on some nice fat bun feet.
Right.
Probably veneer over the top to make it a bit posher. Maybe put a roundel of boxwood or some stringing. Starting to make it sound nice, aren't I?
I do like these. I think these are very
Yeah,
pretty.
they're lovely, aren't they? Yeah, nice and early, 17,
Yeah.
20 maybe. 1730. So I like those. I like this as well. This is 1013 and needs a lot less work. This is Dutch. A bomb because of its shape. Commode, serpentine commode because of its shape in that direction. Got nice bomb serpentine sides. These are rather fun, these handles. Look at them. They're great whoppers, aren't they? And this sort of swagged urn design. We've got oak lining, as is the norm. And we've got original locks. It could do with some work. You could live with it as it is. There's some old splits through the veneer on the top, in line with the panel joints below. A similar thing down the sides. So it's not perfect, but it's got a nice colour to it and a nice shape, and it's not too big. So those are all factors in its favour. I drift past a recomposition stone table, lot 1045. Don't see too many of those, so something a little bit different. And we're coming close to the end here, but we will comment on 1008. These painted fauteuils, French armchairs, painted furniture, of course, what is happening to a lot of things, but these may always have, probably always were painted. They've just been done over again and could probably do with it a further time. Yeah, nice, ready to use, bit of wear on the arms. You could,
I think that's supposed to be.
Yes, maybe. I'm sure you're right, my dear. What is it supposed to be?
Okay, not there, but
overpainted here where someone's been doing the ceiling and it's dropped.
Quite.
Yeah. Anyway, I think personally, if they had a bit of darker grey in the recesses, a bit of contrast, make them even more fab. But nice thing, 1008. Yes. Then, as we round off, just to show you a couple more things. 1002. How about some nice wall brackets? They are not period, but they are in the sort of.
Let me come around the other way.
Is it too dark?
Yeah.
There we go. They're in the Gothic,
yeah, they're nice,
sort of Strawberry Hillish manner. You get 3 of them. Lot 1002.
That's the best one. The other ones are a little bit.
Yeah, always ask for a condition report, particularly if you buy them from Gorringe's. And they're different. Look, they're not.
Oh yeah.
They are a pair and one. Because they have been decorated in a slightly different manner, and they actually weigh a different weight, and they have slightly different construction. Good grief. So anyway, they're still quite nice, and you just need to sort of touch them up a bit. And encaustic tiles. What do we know about encaustic tiles? Well, everybody likes them at the moment. And these aren't quite your regular encaustic, but lot 1152 is 2 of these crates full of these nice big chunky tiles made up of sort of marble fragments. And you can see in profile.
So what sort of age are we talking about?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I don't claim to have the deepest expertise on this type of tile. Look, we can see where they've been sort of sunk into the base material, pressed in rather. I mean, they've certainly got age, haven't they? They're not new, but quite how old is hard to say. Obviously, a few with chips. They've clearly been lifted up from somebody's floor, and they make. There we go. Look at that. They make quite a pleasing pattern.
Yes.
So, I would say there's enough here to do a small entrance hall or similar. I guess you could probably use them outside as well if you wanted to. So there we go, a host of, I'm looking at a curious lamp. There's always something more to see.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
It is curious.
51.
It's starting to get noisy.
With a low energy bulb, 1151. So there we go, always something to see at Gorringe's as ever, and as I say, there's always something else pops up in the corner of your eye. You think, oh, what's that? Let's have a look. So come along and have a view. We're going to look at the jewellery. My phone's ringing again. It's the man about the van. Got to go. Thank you.
Rolling.
Okay, so here we are in the strong room. Going to look at some of the jewellery that Roger's been hauling in off the streets of Lewes and various other places he hangs out in. And yes, so he had a gentleman come in who had inherited a load of jewellery, and he'd inherited it from an estate that traces its way back to Australia. And husband and wife, and every time the husband did something bad, he had to make amends, and he trotted down the road to a prestigious jeweller's and bought his wife something to compensate for his badness. I cannot imagine that situation.
No, I bet you can't.
And they looked after him good and properly. So there's some interesting jewellery in the sale from that job. Well, let's have a look. Let's start with lot 1924. How about some pearls? They are freshwater cultured pearls. And they come with, as did most things he bought, the original Australian insurance valuation. So we know exactly what they are. There's 48 pearls. They're potato shape, apparently, which is odd because they don't really look... It's an interesting word for it, isn't it? Potato, when they're kind of round. But anyway, they were valued at $1,100 at the time. But we know that old trick, don't we? And that was in July 2022.
Gosh,
but we know that old trick, don't we? Of the jeweler sells you something for $1,000 and then immediately writes you an insurance valuation for 1,100 quid to make you feel like you've got a bargain. Anyway, back in the real world of selling it, the estimate is £100 to £150. Now, hopefully they're going to make a bit more. Probably will, given our marvellous marketing skills. But there we are. Also, from that job, lot 1921. How about that? 18 carat white gold with diamonds by Paspali. Yep, pendant.
Oh, it's a pendant?
Yes, pendant. Look, it hangs, should you want it to. Well, it looks like it needs a mount, because look, there's not a hole through there. It says it's a pendant. So it must have had custom-made fittings, it says, which are no longer present. But something would have clamped in there. I'm going to check with Rog that there isn't something knocking about. It's heavy. It's... the diamonds add up 1.39 carats, but they're all tiddlers. So, you'd never bother breaking that out.
Value.
Or, if a jeweler had to make that, it cost a fortune.
Yeah.
But really, it's a combination of gold, few diamonds, and then appeal to the eye. $14,750 with a valuation in July 2021.
Really
that must have been a baddie. I hate to think what he did. Lot number from the same source. Lot number 1923. There's something eye-catching. You could say that. Interesting how the photo differs, isn't it, from the reality of the blue and the faceting's hard to pick out. No, our team are very good these days. Yes. Tested as 14 karat gold with a turquoise, no less. You can sort of see it showing through under there. Quite a thing. Value $6,000 back in 22. Our estimate £300 to £400 because not many people are going to want that design. To be blunt, it's an in the eye of the beholder job.
Yes.
A little more saleable perhaps would be lot 1906. So earrings. But what's special about those is they are all diamonds. So the central stones are not citrines or otherwise. They are yellow diamonds. And we have a thing that it says one central champagne cut diamond. So coloured yellow diamonds get given all sorts of names. Generally, sometimes we within the trade privately use different terms to describe the colour, but these have been described as champagne. I'd say they're more sort of dark, heading towards brown, but anyway, they are diamonds, which is unusual for them to be coloured. They were valued at $4,000.
They're more cider.
They are a bit like cider.
A bit more like cider.
Yeah, cider coloured. That's a nice description.
Or syrup, treacle.
Worst words get used, let me tell you.
Sure.
Lot 1906. Anyway, and then from the same job, but without certificates, one can only speculate.
Goodness.
I think this is fab.
Good.
You don't, do you?
Yes.
You think it's
if you're bad,
the technical word.
Please don't give me this.
Gopping, you said.
Gopping.
I think it's great. That's citrines, very orangey citrines, and amethysts. It's big, and it's got diamonds at the top of the of the loop. You don't like it. It's quite small finger as well. Anyway, 14 karat gold, citrine. Very precise estimate from Roger, 240 to 280. Then other ownerships, as we say.
That's because he loves it.
I picked this out because it caught my eye, but you didn't like it, did you? Lot 1892. So I said, is that Sybil Dunlop? Because it's got that kind of arts and crafts look. It's silver, looks like a bit of gold on the clasp, which is a sign of quality. And then these are lapis lazuli, perhaps lattice, perhaps a blue hardstone. The colour is slightly different. then stamped Liberty Sterling. So I think that's got that's quite a nice bit of arts and crafts. You don't like it, but you know, my taste is better. Look, 1888. Moving on rapidly.
Really pretty.
This is really pretty. So you can buy the
engagement ring,
solitaire engagement ring, which Roger says about 3/4 of a carat, 18 carat white gold setting, lovely and clean, fairly small.
Put it on my finger. Where's my
you
finger?
could make it a bit. Oh yeah, it sells on there.
Yeah, it's lovely.
You could make it a bit bigger, but not massively bigger. And then the great thing is, you get with it the sort of eternity or whatever to add. And you know, you could tuck that away for years.
Oh, stop
and
it.
save yourself a fortune.
Oh,
and then, oh my darling, I had this made for you specially.
It is
Fits your ring perfectly.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a nice little thing, isn't it? 500 to 700, the estimate there.
Will Rog have the size on?
Yes, of course he will.
Great.
Absolutely, always. We always list the sizes of our rings. And if you don't know the size of your fingers, come in and we can measure them.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
That's
there we
very
go.
good.
Other ownerships continue. 1893, something more an antique. It is antique. It's over 100 years old. This is a classic sort of Edwardian gold, diamond and pearl bracelet, sometimes called a stiff bracelet because it's fixed, it just hinges, with a different colour gold. Lot 1893, modest estimate, £200 to £300 with an associated later box. And finally, for the watch buyer, here's something different. Lot 1894, look at that.
Pretty.
It's very pretty, isn't it?
Is that deco-y?
Yeah, I think so. And we always love an original box, which says Barnard and Company of Montreux. So that's getting us in the right part of the world. So these travelling watches, you push them.
Oh,
and
look at that.
There we go. There's looky at the dial.
Finally,
signed
something
Cyma.
nice.
Did you say finally something nice?
Yeah, I don't like
read
any
about
of the
the
things
stock.
that you said.
So it pops forward, so you can prop it up by your bed when you're travelling.
That's so.
So look at it in the night. And now, you know, people like Movado made these and others. It is stamped inside sterling silver with Swiss patent marks as well, various other stamps and
That's lovely.
marks inside. Lovely condition.
So
is it
estimate?
going? The estimate is I'm afraid a little daft. I don't know where it came from. 60 to 80 pounds. So somebody didn't like it. Hang on, it's going as well.
Gosh.
That's great. I mean,
What a lovely present.
the Movado ones have come up a bit, and they're making a good 300-400 plus. And this is a really nice example in lovely condition with a box. I think that's, well, it'd be a no-brainer at 200 to 300, and it is probably a bit more. But we'll see. I mean, you can't wear it. You'd need a funny strap for that. It'd look a bit weird. You pop that on your wrist. It'd be amusing, wouldn't it? Look at the time.
Yeah.
Like a cuckoo clock.
Wow.
But, you know, it's just a really nice thing, and it's a collectible rather than a usable. So, anyway, there we go. All sorts of goodies in the sale for you. Plenty of other stuff in the auction.
I had a little look at what Rog has tucked away for the fine sale in the autumn fine sale. And actually, the deadline is the 2nd of September. So...
yes, get your jewellery in here.
Yes.
Come and buy some, but also bring it in for sale. Anything you're thinking of for the fine sale, be it paintings or ceramics or whatever you've got in mind. Yes, the deadline will be pretty much the end of August. So give us a shout now, because it's good to get us in, coming along, giving you ideas of what things are worth. And then if you choose to sell them, you're in plenty of time to get nice photography and all that done. So yes, thank you for that reminder, my dear.
Pleasure.
Yeah, good. So come along, view the sale, look at it online. Great sale again, nice mixture. See you there. Thank you.